A JaidynReiman gameplay list. Today's topic: RuneScape. Fate of the Gods. What is this place? This is the threshold of your mind. My mind? How are you in my mind? How are you in my mind? Have no fear, World Guardian. I would not enter your mind without consent, nor could I.
I have only brought you here. I am outside, looking in. We needed a safe place to go where she could not sense it. That is all.
We're both still in the volcano.
Yes. And when you wake, we will have to deal with Ma.
You have questions.
Know this. I will never lie to you. And in this place, you would sense if I did. But there are some truths for which you are not yet ready. All will be revealed in time.
Okay, so what do you need? What you need me to? So what need you? What? Okay, so what need do you have of me? Why am I here?
The power Prophet bestowed upon you before his death dampens divine magic and energy. It is my belief this power will also shield my presence from harm. If she were to sense me and fully awake, that would be bad for everyone. Beneath her, at the planet's core, I will be able to create a new corporeal form for myself. I wish for you to take me there, or to go there in my stead.
So we have to go beneath Ma in order to create a new corporate form for Zaros. Now I can say, I'd be honored to help. I'll see what I can do. Why should I help? I'm not here to help. I'll see what I can do.
No, we should learn of one another. Whatever your questions, I would answer.
As well as origins. How do you become a god?
I did not become. I have always been. I was created this way.
You're created by whom?
By Ma.
By Ma, that thing in the crater? She is your creator? How?
She is an elder god, the youngest of 5.
An elder god.
The elder gods are ancient primordial beings, the creators of this universe. Ma's power is rooted in potential, in darkness, and in light. I am a divine aspect of dark energy.
Where were you born?
I came into being atop this volcano on which we currently reside. Ma was left here by the other elder gods. They believed her still do. But she survived, and eventually clawed her way out to the volcano's crater. Her sisters gone, she was alone, and poured what little energy she had into creating me.
How old are you?
I was born in the infancy of this universe.
How long ago was that?
Eons.
Are you the oldest of the gods?
To my knowledge, only the elder gods are older.
Are you unique?
All beings are unique, but I understand your meaning. There is one other akin to I, the divine aspect of light energy.
Who?
I shall not speak of it here, but I sense you have an inkling of whom I speak.
Ask of his history. What led you to Gilnor?
I left here solely to get away from Ma. She is cruel and possessive. I had to be free of her. I traveled the universe, met many mortal races, and both learned and taught a great many things. The exploration and discovery was enough, again. But I came to need a purpose. I have seen the entire span of creation, the progression of the elder gods, and knew immediately upon my arrival that Gilnor was special. It was there that I found my purpose. In order to achieve my goals, I must return there, and with a corporeal form.
Why create an empire?
All gods rally followers to them, whether they mean to or not. Mortals cannot help themselves. Some gods take advantage of this. In my youth, I was guilty of this. When I arrived, there were many young gods carving out territory, engaged in petty skirmishes and border disputes. I sought to unify them under my banner, but they resisted. But those under my charge were uplifted. My empire led to a great many advancements. Industry, medicine, technology, magically discovered. It is true that many died in the name of progress. But many times more prospered humans, demons, and vampires alike. More died in its destruction at the behest of Saradomin and Zamorak than ever in its creation.
How did Zamorak best you? Did you really trip?
I do not know what you have heard, but the only two beings present were myself and Zamorak. Anything else you have heard is either lies, rumor, or speculation, and it is not something I care to discuss.
Did you plan the whole thing?
Not even the elder gods know all and see all. If that were the case, I would never have been able to leave this place. Ma would not have allowed it. So, no. I did not anticipate for Zamorak's ascension, nor did I engineer it. Equally, I do not begrudge it. He taught me a valuable lesson that day. He taught me of betrayal.
Why were you so opposed?
Sometimes, simply being the largest target is enough to become vilified. But it is also because I sought unification. I wanted to bring all the young gods under one banner, but they would not recognize my divinity. I would have welcomed them all, but they were blinkered by their own narrow, dogmatic views, and so they rejected me. I did not start wars. I was just better at them. And through war, I started to make progress.
What about after Zamorak deposed you?
Zamorak feared retribution from those remnants of my empire who remained loyal to me. Saradomin sought my secrets. Whether to steal them or bury them, I cannot say. Ultimately, it is not important. The Empire failed and is no more. To build another would be folly. Mortals cannot be united by will or by force alone. Even if they could be, doing so would take more time than we have.
More time than we have? Before what?
I will get to that in due course.
Ask his views of specific individuals.
This is not crucial information. There will be a time to discuss this later, should you wish.
Transcendent beings. Ma and the Elder Gods.
Without her, I would not exist, but she is like a child. As such, she was unable to teach me much of anything. What I have learned, I have discovered since I left. She is an elder god, the youngest of 5. Yet the anima of this plane was not sufficient to nourish them all, and Ma was now 4. She was born without memory or knowledge, only instinct. After finally clawing her way to the surface, her first instinct was to pour what little energy she had into the creation of me and my companion. That would likely be an affront to the other elder gods. To her, I was akin to a child's dog. She is mentally fractured, but I have intellect. I could not abide her possessiveness. As soon as she started to weaken, I left. It seems that our presence has stirred Ma. When you awake, we will have to deal with the consequences.
Gothics.
He was like a myth, spoken of in hushed tones by those of his followers who had not allied with other gods. I would very much have liked to have met him. We shared some ideals. We both value mortal life enough to step aside. Though, where he would leave them to their own devices and their own failures, I would guide them subtly towards their true destinies. I would not impose my beliefs on mortals as other gods do, nor force them into worshiping me. My aim is to be the voice that drives them to greatness. Not all would heed the call, but not all have to.
Saren.
I note that you are a follower of Sony. Neither of you need fear me. By all means, continue to serve me. I will not ask anything of you that conflicts with your beliefs. In fact, I am pleased that you would seek her guidance and protection, and in turn, protect her. However, that is all I'm willing to say about Seth.
Please tell me, is this what she looks like?
Ah, yes. As we discuss certain topics, you will be seeing manifestations drawn from my memories. Yes. This is how she looked when last I saw her.
Is she...
No more questions of Sarah.
Ascended beings. Zamorak.
He was once my most trusted general. I never had cause to doubt his loyalty. Right up until the point that he betrayed me. I do not know what led him to In some ways, he epitomizes what I advocate. He has a strong will and has overcome his limitations, but he did so at my own expense.
Do you intend retribution?
Revenge would serve no purpose, but even if it would, I would have no time to enact it. There are more pressing matters that require my attention.
Sardoman.
He is self-righteous, seeing things only in extremes. It was from him that I first learned of the notions of good and evil. I dismiss such notions. There are only actions and consequences. We agreed to disagree. Everything to him is either black or white. But he himself exists in the grey. Ergo, he is a contradiction. Yet many have prospered under his rule, most notably your species. So, there is some merit in what he established. And he has become the most powerful young god in the wake of Gothix's end. He would make for a good envoy, if only he would widen his world view a little.
Armadillo.
When I knew him, he was idealistic and naive, but his intentions were always pure. There is value in that. Azanadra has told me of the tragic loss Armadale suffered during the God Wars. If he had given in to his despair, I would have no interest in him. But his recent victory over Bandas suggests this event has forged him. I shall watch his progress intently.
Bandos.
He had a brilliant strategic mind, and an innate ability to expose the truth in any situation. If only he could have curtailed his eternal desire for war, he might have proven useful. I have more interest in the one who defeated him, and in those who will succeed him.
Succeed him?
The god may die, but the philosophy is eternal. In time, another will grow to take his place, be they a god or not.
Majrat. Aznadra.
As Zamorak taught me of betrayal, Azanadra has taught me of loyalty. He had no reason to remain so after my banishment, and yet he has.
Apparently I was mistaken about Aznadra. Aznadra's appearance has not been graphically updated with this quest.
In my empire, he stood at the head of the church. He has also since proven himself a worthy general. And he has kept the faith for all these centuries, when so many others chose to forget me. He is loyal, devout, intelligent, strong, and honorable. He has power, but does not misuse it. He embodies all of the traits that I hold dear. Finally, he has brought you to my attention. You who find yourself at the center of all things.
Sliske.
Sliske's loyalty has only ever been to himself. When our goals align, he can prove useful. But his recent exploits are not something I can condone.
Do you intend to kill him?
I cannot stand as both judge and executioner. I leave it to those he has wronged to bring him to any justice they feel he deserves.
Did you order him to kill Guthix?
I did not.
I believe you.
I'm glad.
The Majorat race.
They did not exist when I left this place. But when I first encountered them, I knew instantly that we shared kindred. Their name means the children of Ma. Their crystals mark their divine origin. They were unmistakable relations. I saw them as younger siblings and sought to protect them. Divine creations are more fragile than you realize. Their race is the epitome of potential, but their fate is also sealed. Had he known what he was truly dealing with, Ixlarin may never have brought them to Gillinor. He tried to rein in their nature, and it was not long before one of their number broke free. It was easy for me to convince that breakaway of my superiority.
Who is the breakaway Majorat?
Listen.
Yeah, I knew that much. Of course it would be.
Not all Majorat chose to leave Ixlarin's service, but the few that remained did not last long. So, in a desperate final act, the desert god Churikin devastated his own lands to discourage me. I was given dwarves and ended my campaign. I realized that I had become what I was fighting against. From that point on, I slowly started to remove my presence from the Empire. I provided the Majorat with the means to rejuvenate themselves on Gillinor. Something of which Ixlarin was incapable, for he did not understand them. And I encouraged them to be less wasteful with their rituals. If they were to become leaders in the Empire, they had to endure.
Dragonkin.
They are an intriguing race. But we will need to deal with them if we are to rouse the Elder Gods.
Do you know where they come from?
I suspect their home plane was destroyed soon after the Elder Gods first left Anastasia. A small number of Dragonkin survived this revision, taking shelter in the Abyss, among the detritus of previous cycles.
What are you saying? Revisions? Previous cycles?
This is a truth best revealed slowly. You will come to it in time. I believe the surviving Dragonkin sought out Jas for mercy, or retribution, only to end up bound to her catalyst.
That's what I thought. So the Dragonkin were not created by Jazz. They were originally they were originally from their own plane, but they were bound to the Stone of Jazz by Jazz.
For the Elder Gods to hear the pleas of mortals will require someone to bridge the gap. Only a being of divine origin, such as I, has a hope of communicating with.
Okay. Zarosian loyalists. Nex.
Nex is an almost perfect creation, but even she has limitations. She is unfailingly loyal. She can be no other way. It was the act of her creation that steered me on the path towards Elder Godhood. The young gods fear her, not because of her strength, but because of how she came into being, what she represents.
She's a Nihil, correct? You create her race?
Not exactly. The Nihil only came into being due to Mara's own energy. The creation of life is beyond me. Because of this, to me, the Nihil were a failure. Save for one who stood apart from the pack. I gave her consciousness, and she became Nex. One success from so much failure.
Char.
I was fascinated by the Orspar race, and by Char especially. She was reminiscent of what I used to know. I drew great comfort from her. I am very pleased to have discovered that Zamorak did not kill her. I will welcome her in my presence once more.
Dragon Riders.
Such a noble race. I am ashamed to say I failed them. I sought to overcome the race's infertility, but Zamorak deposed me before I could find a solution. But I am only able to alter existing forms of life. As an elder god, the solution would be trivial. Call them by their true name, Iluyanka. Their memory deserves respect.
I met Hambus. He is indeed as indeed as you say.
I am shocked that he has managed to survive this long, but pleasantly surprised. This is most fortuitous.
I have encouraged him to return to what's left of his people.
Good. After all he has been through, he should have time for his own kind. Though, if he is the key to resolving the Dragonkin issue, I only hope he does not pass before he is needed.
In other words, we may in fact have a continuation to the Dragon Riders. Demons and vampires. What about demons?
Demons were the first conscious life I encountered after leaving Fenniskin. I was fascinated by their culture, language, government, and beliefs. I took the infernal tongue for my own, having had no need of speech before, and I used that language to seal them in a pact of servitude. Do not judge demonkind by those who have experience. You will have only met the embittered Avernic slaves Zamorak led in an uprising after my banishment. My pact was with their Chthonian masters. Their forms were a seemingly random array of appendages, but they had one unifying trait: the ability to absorb knowledge from that which they ate. Ergo, within the strictures of demonic law, cannibalism was outlawed. Telling me, the punishment for many crimes was to be eaten. Thus, those in power grew ever more knowledgeable and vast. I can sense your unease that I would ally myself with such beings, but you should understand that they were not monsters. They were vastly intelligent, their pursuits cultural and artistic. Their value was in the militaristic Avernic forces they marshaled, and they rarely involved themselves directly in combat. Even though they were immensely difficult to kill, their numbers dwindled over the course of my empire. It is possible that some still survive to this day, buried in the deep places of the world.
And vampires?
I was initially less convinced by the vampires, but being only the second race I encountered, I had little to compare them to. At first, they were nothing more than predatory beasts, but I applied what I had learned from the demons and gave them a society. As in any burgeoning society, there was bloodshed and civil war, but eventually an aristocracy rose up that persists to this day. Even vampires have the potential for good or ill, but their thirst is ever present and often overcomes their will.
But why choose these races?
I was not aware I was making a choice. These were just the first races I encountered. These races originate from the lower planes, these being the earliest creations of the elder gods, and which are nearest to Fenniskin. I would have gladly accepted all mortal species under my banner, but by the time I had reached the higher planes, those races had adopted the doctrines of other gods.
Okay. How is your view of mortals? No wait. What are your views of the young gods?
Even though they have moved beyond their race's limitations, to me, they are still only very powerful mortals. I sought to bring them under one banner, all races and ideals, so that together we might strive for loftier goals.
With you as ruler?
I saw it as my divine right. The failure of my empire opened my eyes.
Well, see, that's the problem, is that he tried to rule over them.
Since then, I have had much time to consider my failures. I was acting no better than now, attempting to control mortals. I see my role now being to lead mortals, the young gods included, towards uplifting themselves, and to work with those powerful few who have stepped beyond the need for guidance. I see this in you. Gothic saw this in you too, at the end. But his inaction has cost us dearly.
Guthix is in action?
Yes. Given our hides a truth the likes of which even Guthix was not aware. If he had known, he would have done more than sleep. Fresque holds the clues. You will see them with your own eyes soon enough.
What is your view of mortals?
The elder gods do not purposely create conscious life. Only plants and simple organisms. These things generate anima. Yet, conscious life has sprung up on countless imperfect worlds, on which the anima was in some way unbalanced. My belief is that beings with awareness are capable of generating more anima than the elder gods realize. Ma is proof that the elder gods are more fragile than you might think. And with them numbering only 5, they are on the brink of extinction. Counter to that, mortal life is both abundant and diverse. It is my view that mortals should inherit all of creation from the elder gods.
How do you see yourself?
I do not understand your question.
Some see you as controlling, others as evil, and yet your loyal followers are in awe of you. And do you not say that yourself that you are the divine aspect of dark energy?
Do not confuse darkness and light with evil and good. Real life does not deal in absolutes, nor extremes. All life falls on a spectrum, and all life has capacity for both good and evil. Judge me only by my actions and my words, not by the words of others. I have made mistakes, but I do what I do because it must be done, because there is no other who would. No other that could.
Okay. As for his plans, what's your philosophy?
It is my belief that everything that occurs in life, both good and bad, should be used to forge oneself, to better oneself. If we give in to weakness, then we do not deserve the gift of life. Where Gothic sought balance in the world, I seek balance in oneself. One must strive to increase in power, but also in knowledge of how to wield that power. The younger gods have tended to fulfill only one of these things. You, well guardian, fulfill both of these criteria.
What are your goals?
First, I must obtain a new body and regain my divine status. With it, I shall return to my ultimate ambition.
Which is?
I intend to claim my birthright and become an elder god. Only then will I be able to stand equal to the universe's creators and speak on behalf of mortals.
What is your plan?
Once I return, I shall wake the elder gods. I will speak for all mortals, and the elder gods will listen.
Where are the elder gods?
They are where they have always been, since the creation of Gilligan. On Gilligan.
What are your plans for me?
First, I need you to make your way below Mars to the planet's core. Once there, I require you to gather some of her divine energy and use it to weave me a new body.
And when you've returned to Gilnor?
I hope to call on you. There is much to be done if we are to succeed. I will not ask anything of you that compromises your beliefs, or conflicts with your status as World Guardian. Until then, do as you would always do. Choose your path. Follow whatever philosophy or god you desire.
You don't want me to worship you?
I do not require your fealty, though I welcome it, should you wish to give it. I only require your support when you are called upon, for the benefit of all. All else matters naught in the face of the Great Revision.
The what?
All in due time.
Everyone I need to.
Allow me to recap the two crucial pieces of information you require for what comes next. First, that I am a creation of the elder god Mara. She is the being lying comatose within this volcano's crater. And second, that I require some of Mars' elder energy to be woven into a new corporeal form for me to inhabit. This new body must be a dark simulacrum. A light simulacrum will reject my essence.
Okay, so, elder energy woven into a simulacrum.
Enough talk, World Guardian. Though Ma only stirs in her sleep, her nightmares will manifest and attack on sight, and her cries of pain will cripple you. You need only survive until her terrors subside. Only then will it be safe for us to proceed. But first, you must choose whether or not to allow me in.
What? Why?
If you allow me in, I can lend you my strength to survive Mars' onslaught. I will not go beyond what you permit, and will leave once she is well, or should you ask it of me. Do not let me in, and I cannot help. You put both our lives in jeopardy, and above that risk the fate of the very universe. Make your choice. We are out of time.
Yes, let him in. Yes, I'll offer now.
I understand your reticence, and appreciate you giving me the benefit of the doubt.
I hope I have enough, I hope I have enough, items.
Let us proceed.
I'm gonna get used to that. Okay.